Guys, today we're doing our very first ever, what they call reactions episode. My team have lined up a few viral clips and they want my take on it as a broker mentor. I haven't seen these in any great detail, so this is just my raw, honest take on what's being said out there. We're going to see what's funny, what's fact, and what's a bit of crap, or a bit of both. Here's Chris Collar.
Yeah. Okay, sign all this stuff, I'll find you a loan that costs you less. And I don't have to pay you? No, your new bank will pay me. Doesn't the old bank care? No, not really. I just signed a bunch of people up to them, actually. Oh. Well, why wouldn't they try to keep me rather than worrying about this churn? I mean, this is just like musical chairs. Because only a relatively small portion of people will actually switch banks. Most will just stay loyal and pay too much. I mean, these banks earn $25 million profit a day.
Well, look, that's funny. The reality isn't too different. Most people don't have the time, the knowledge, or the energy to fight a bank's retention team. That's literally why mortgage brokers exist. If you're a new broker, this is your value proposition when talking to a client who's looking for options that include a better deal. You are the shield between the client and the bank. But there's a catch. You can't be the shield if you're drowning in compliance and paperwork, struggling to structure the loan yourself. If you've been looking for support to advance your broker career, so you can focus on fighting for the client instead of fighting your software and fighting the normal processes that are essential part of running a broker business, this is exactly what we do at FinWeb. There's a link in the description below where you can book a free chat with myself or our team. See if we can help. All right, let's check the next one.
There are ultimately 5 reasons why I chose to be a mortgage broker instead of a real estate agent, and I desperately wish someone would have told me this, so I'm going to share it with you because I care about you. I got my real estate license back in 2015 in the state of Arizona. I was 18 years old, had no idea what I was doing, and after about a year, I decided to transition to the mortgage space. My first reason for making the switch was you can work virtually from anywhere. This wasn't as important for me back then, but I knew long-term I wanted to become a mom. I wanted to work in a job where I could still be present with my kids, and mortgage will really give you such flexibility as far as making your own schedule and working when you can work. This also kind of leads into reason number 2, which is that you can be licensed in as many states as you want as a mortgage broker. This is a really big one for me because I've lived in 3 different states and have pretty big networks.
All right. Not sure how relevant this is. And it's actually making me laugh a little bit. I agree with one sentiment. Being a mortgage broker is one of the best careers you can possibly have in the world. But let's be real for a second. If you're just starting out in Australia right now, your first 12 to 24 months are not going to be sitting on a beach somewhere working remotely. You're not going to be sitting back, sipping pina coladas and letting the leads just roll in. You're going to be grinding for leads, stressing over lender policies and praying your first few deals get approved. The dream lifestyle can happen, but when you have the right systems and the right support around you from day one, that's when it happens. And that's the gap that FinWeb fills. We exist to give brokers everything they actually need that a traditional aggregator by themselves cannot simply provide. The mentoring, the ready-to-go workflows, the processing support, so you can actually get to that flexible lifestyle instead of burning out in 1 year. All right, let's check out the next one.
Brokerage is weird because it's simple and hard. It's simple. And how to be successful, you're like, this is the secret? Yes. And wake up before your competition, right? But it's hard because you have to do so much of it over such a long period of time. And in the first 5 years, you will never make less money and you'll never work harder.
I love this.
That's why the first 5 years are the worst. That's why 80% quit.
Much better than you.
Because you'll never make less than you do in your first 5 years and you'll never work harder than you do in your first 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. I prefer the reality of this one over the last one. However, it doesn't need to be the 5 years. When you're a new broker, everything feels complicated and uncomfortable. The software is new, the compliance is heavy, and you're terrified of giving the wrong advice. And yes, you do have to put in the reps, but grinding 80 hours a week on admin and trying to figure out loan structuring by yourself isn't a badge of honor. It's the fast track to quitting. And that's why 80% do quit. With the right supports in place, a well-supported broker should see their results in the second year. You need to put in the hard yards into building the relationships and finding the clients, while someone else handles the heavy lifting on the back end. That's the whole point of our residential broker program and sales bootcamp. It's a 6-month structured training program we include for every broker who joins FinWeb. So you're not out there figuring it all out all alone. All right, let's check the next one.
How the fuck did you write $67 million in a single month?
Mate, yeah, July was a big month. Good start to the year for FY26. Look, every year
It's an incredible number and an Australian accent there.
And it's kind of been 6 years running that, I sort of continue to surprise myself in a good way. I'm a big goal setter. I sit down and I map out.
Well, when you're new to the industry, seeing numbers like that can make you feel like you're failing if you're only writing a couple of million a month. In fact, most brokers would be really happy to be writing a couple of million a month. But let me tell you a secret. Nobody writes $67 million a month on their own. They have an army behind them. If you're trying to do everything yourself, from the initial fact find to chasing the bank for settlement, you will cap out and you will burn out long before you hit the big leagues. Brokers writing serious numbers have systems. They have processing support. They have the full-time mentor they can actually reach without the vague promises, and the operational support that lets you focus on growing your business. All right, are we in for one more? Let's check out this next one.
10 prospects equals 1 lead. 10 leads equals 5 appointments. 5 appointments equals 1 sale. The process and the law of averages are quite simple. 1 + 2 = 3. Speak to people, set meetings, make sales.
Advice.
Speak to people, set meetings, make money. Don't talk to people about oranges, they're interested in lemons.
Sales is a numbers game, absolutely. But if you're a new broker and you're just burning through leads, trying to find a yes, you are destroying your reputation and credibility before you even start. When a client says no, or when a bank declines a deal, it's usually because the structure was wrong or the trust wasn't there. You don't just need to run through more numbers. You need a sales coach, a business coach, and mentor to look at your process and tell you why you're actually getting those no's so you can start converting. At FinWeb, we call them postmortems. And guess what? Every member in the FinWeb family gets that. Complemented by regular interactive training, that's what our professional development sessions are designed to do. Give you the expertise so every conversation counts. So thanks for watching this reaction episode. And if you made it this far, what do you think? Drop any videos you want or leave some comments below. Send me some clips about property, finance, mortgages, or anything you want to challenge me on. And if you've been looking for a career in mortgage broking or support to advance your career, the mentoring, the systems, the process, the support, this is exactly what we do. There's a link in the description below where you can book a free chat with myself or my team, and we can see how we can help. See you next time.